Hello? After our time in Malaysia with the beautiful scenery that we never could have imagined and the welcoming people that were so kind and engaging, it was time to say goodbye to Malaysia and head over to Bali. We got picked up from the airport and were taken to Suka House by one of their own drivers, and this was preferential to trying to figure out how to get out of the insanely busy airport ourselves. This was a quiet tuck away from the main busy area, and we got a little room and balcony to ourselves. The greenery was so nice, and it was the first time that either of us have been in the tropics like this. And it was so fresh. I mean, I guess you can see I'm just filming the same thing over and over because I was delighted by all these flowers. I think in theory Anna likes to believe she is an island girl, but in reality she does not like nature interacting with her.
How dare nature exist in nature, Anna?
I really just almost got taken out by, I don't know, a moth, a bug. I need your passport.
Okay.
Good morning. We passed out really early and didn't even leave our accommodation, well, the first night that we were in Bali, because we had a super early start the next day. At 2 a.m. we were bound to be picked up by the hiking crew. Now let me tell you how Anna convinced me, the person who's most definitely not an early bird or an early riser, to do this kind of hiking trip. While we were doing research for our travels, I was looking at a lot of vlogs and she was reading a lot of blogs. We have different ways of gathering information, clearly. She told me that she read this blog about this woman who solo trip to Bali, went out the night before until 12:01, and then went home, showered, and then changed into her hiking clothes, and they picked her up and she managed to make it to sunrise on top of the mountain. And you know what? I was like, listen, I support women and their choices, and I believe if she could do that after a night of partying, certainly I could do that too. After like a day of traveling to the island and getting through immigration and everything. So here we are, we made it. Cheers. We made it up to the mountain, made the sunrise, saw a proposal, the entire mountain cheered, and now we're just waiting until it's time to go back down. It's slightly warmer.
Breakfast for you.
Thank you.
Egg sandwich.
Another two. Sorry, another.
It's time to leave. Look at the steam rising. Oh, my bad. I want to talk to you. Think I'm dusty?
Not as dusty
dustiest view.
I am the dusty one. Nope. The second I try to film us, I start slipping. After getting back to our accommodation, having breakfast, we set out for a second breakfast because we were so hungry. And this is the first time I managed to have sourdough in such a long time, and I was beyond excited. We got some cocktails to start with, had a small sandwich, and then we hit the markets. Now, I must say we were expecting a lot more from these markets than we did see. We were trinket hunting like crazy for Anna, but everything sold the same thing in all the stalls, and the hawkers were pretty intense at some of the stalls. I would say that Anna is much better at haggling than I am. I feel so embarrassed. We went to a spa, we walked in and they gave us a treatment immediately, got a massage, and then we walked across the road and we got ourselves some sorbet. I love lemon or lime sorbet and I managed to track some down, and this was so delicious.
Maybe faster. Probably. I suppose. Try your drink. Good morning, it is our last day in Ubud and we are going to go out for me to find coffee and for Anna to experience a Bali bowl. She just wants food. News, I don't have the key.
We keep losing the key.
The key's here, in the lock.
We keep not losing the key. Yesterday we had a massage at the spa, which was, I mean, Anna's back was broken.
It's bruised.
She's got literal bruises. And mine barely felt like anything. So I want to go back and ask for like a deep tissue or something. Anna does not want to go back.
I will go back, I'll just do something else.
Okay.
Hello?
Do you need me to... No, it's closed.
Yeah, we did a lot yesterday. We did the hike in the morning and then spent the whole day out. I think I slept for an hour and then we went out to dinner. Mind your step. And now we're finally heading out. What a mix. No poppers or many vegetables. Rocket.
What is that, arugula?
Yes. Thank you. So now I'm I cannot even begin to describe how big these trees are around us. This is all the way up. This temple is so quiet. I think being midday is the best time to be here. The sun is not great, but I think just the quietness in the temple is really lovely. And there's all these tiny like little swallows, like flying, like swooping all around you. And it's really, really majestic. I'll see if I can get it on video. We're headed out. Now we're gonna go to get our nails done, which we're all very excited for. It's so big for no reason. It's massive.
Everyone needs a light bevy.
A beveragino.
It's huge.
Right there.
Good morning. Today we are checking out. Checking out. After the craziness that was Ubud in the wildly narrow streets with not really any space to walk along the sidewalks, coming to Uluwatu was insanely peaceful. We got separated when we took our first grab motorbike taxis. Anna's driver couldn't find our pickup spot, so she told me to go ahead, and she had the Wi-Fi that we were hotspotting off of, so I lost her for a solid 30 minutes, and I panicked. So here I am having a beer to console myself that I finally tracked her down, but we spent the sunset in that exact spot eating fried calamari and drinking beers, watching the sun go down. It was so peaceful, so wonderful, and we got to see all the ships coming past and the surfers coming in when the sun finally went down.
Can chill. Can chill.
We just came down these stairs.
I think another thing that was really healing about this trip was after living in Korea for such a long time and being exposed to mostly Koreans and Korean standards of living and how you should look like, just being in these crowds in Bali, despite not really liking crowds, it was so refreshing to see people of different body types, people in different styles. It was people with makeup, people without makeup, people with curly hair, people of different skin tones. It was generally so nice to be surrounded by so much diversity and different cultures. I think, at least for me personally, this was a big highlight of our trip. We ended the night at this sunset spot way too late. There were literally crowds and crowds of people walking there, and this was definitely where the cool kids would go for sunset. And we managed to snag a spot eventually that we could sit at, but we did spend a good amount of time standing. However, the DJ played Latin music until late at night, and when he stopped playing Latin music, that's when we left. The next day, we were tired of making choices, tired of trying to find new places and trying to figure out how long it's going to take us to get there. So we went back to the place that we went the day before because we liked the food. Anna was not feeling too great at this point. We were both avoiding the elephant in the room, the fact that it might be Bali belly, but we've been so careful. However, she was feeling pretty fragile. So At that point, we decided to take it easy, and I convinced her to go back to the spot where we had sunset the day before and get there early this time to get ideal seating, which we did for our last night in Bali. And we just read the afternoon away, which was the perfect wind down to this very adventurous vacation we'd had. So here is our last sunset in Bali, in Uluwatu, listening to music, watching people, and just vibing together, watching the sunset. We ended up going home pretty early on our last night so that we could pack all the stuff back into our luggage. Not quite sure how we managed that because it seemed like our luggage just seemed to get bigger the more time passed. But we managed. We went to the airport the next morning for a quick breakfast just outside the security gate, and once we went through, things started to go wrong. We flew AirAsia, and they would not allow me back on because I had just renewed my passport. And despite anything and everything we tried, we could not get a hold of Korean immigration, so I ended up on a separate flight back to Korea. And though that was not ideal because Anna was not feeling well, she went solo and I ended up back home. And here is Atlas trying to find me while I'm hiding. I'm in my sister's closet. He is absolutely terrible at this, by the way. It took him forever to find me.